What if some of the things you do every single day without thinking twice about them are quietly stressing your cat out? Not the obvious stuff. Not yelling, not skipping meals, not anything you'd ever feel guilty about. These are habits that look completely normal, things most loving, attentive owners do constantly, that are still, in small accumulating doses, keeping your cat's nervous system on edge. And the frustrating part is that cats are experts at hiding it. By the time the stress shows up as an obvious problem, litter box issues, over-grooming, sudden aggression, it's often been building quietly for months. These 5 habits are so common that almost every cat owner does at least one of them daily without realizing it. But the 5th one is the one almost nobody thinks to change, because it doesn't look like a mistake at all. It looks like love. Let's go through them one at a time. 1. Moving their food and water bowls around. This sounds so minor it's almost hard to believe it matters, but it's one of the most consistent stress triggers in a cat's daily environment. You rearrange the kitchen. You move the bowls 2 feet to the left to make room for something. You switch which counter or corner they eat in because it's more convenient for you. To you, it's nothing. To your cat, it can genuinely register as a small crisis. Cats build an internal map of their territory, and food and water locations are some of the most important coordinates on that map. In the wild, a reliable food source in a fixed, safe location is a survival advantage, and that wiring hasn't gone anywhere in domestic cats. When the location shifts unexpectedly, even by a small distance, it disrupts a pattern your cat has been relying on, sometimes for their entire sense of, this space is predictable and safe. This is especially true if the new location feels more exposed. A food bowl moved from a quiet corner to somewhere more open, more trafficked, or closer to a loud appliance can genuinely reduce how relaxed your cat feels while eating, which over time can affect appetite and eating pace. Cats who feel even mildly unsafe while eating will often eat faster, more anxiously, glancing up between bites, or eat less overall. The fix here isn't complicated. Once you find a location that works, try to keep it consistent. If you do need to move it, do it gradually, shifting the bowl a few inches at a time over several days, rather than relocating it across the room overnight. Your cat's stress response to environmental predictability is stronger than most owners expect, and this is one of the easiest, lowest effort fixes on this entire list. 2. Constant, unpredictable physical affection. This one is uncomfortable to hear, because it usually comes from a place of pure love. You see your cat, you feel a wave of affection, and you scoop them up, or grab them for a hug, or start petting vigorously, right in the middle of whatever they were doing. It feels natural, but for a lot of cats, this pattern of frequent, owner-initiated, unpredictable touch is a genuine, ongoing stressor. Cats, unlike dogs, generally prefer to be the one who initiates physical contact, or at minimum, to have some warning and choice in the matter. A cat who is repeatedly picked up, restrained, or petted without any signal beforehand can develop a low-grade, chronic wariness around their owner's hands and movements, even if they never show aggression about it. Some cats tolerate it outwardly, while their body language, if you know what to look for, tells a very different story. Flattened ears, a tense body, a tail held low and swishing, skin twitching under your hand. This doesn't mean you have to stop showing affection. It means the timing and initiation matter more than most owners realize. Offering your hand and letting your cat choose to lean into it gives them agency in the interaction. Watching for the subtle signs that they're done, a stiffening body, a tail flick, ears rotating back slightly, and stopping before it escalates, teaches your cat that physical contact is something they have control over, not something that happens to them unpredictably. Cats who feel that sense of control around touch are measurably calmer around their owners over time. 3. Leaving the litter box in the same spot as their food. Here's one that trips up more owners than almost anything else on this list, because it seems so practical. Keep everything in one utility area. Litter box, food, water, all together, out of the way, easy to manage. Unfortunately, this setup runs directly against one of the most basic instincts a cat has. In the wild, cats never eat near where they eliminate. It's a hardwired survival behavior tied to avoiding parasites and disease, and it doesn't disappear just because your cat has never lived anywhere but your apartment. A litter box positioned too close to food and water bowls can create a low-level, constant source of stress and discomfort, even if your cat still technically uses both. Some cats will start eating less, drinking less, or developing box avoidance issues specifically because of this proximity, and owners often have no idea the two are connected. Behavioral researchers examining feline elimination issues consistently point to litter box placement, including proximity to food, as one of the most common and most overlooked contributing factors. This isn't about your cat being fussy or difficult. It's a deeply rooted instinct being violated multiple times a day, every day, in a space they can't escape from. The fix is simple, even if it's a little inconvenient. Keep at least a few feet of distance between the litter box and any food or water station, and ideally, keep them in entirely separate rooms or areas if your space allows it. This single change resolves more subtle stress-related eating and litter box issues than almost any other adjustment owners make. If any of these are hitting a little too close to home, hit that like button and subscribe. Sharing this helps more cat owners catch these small, easy-to-miss habits before they turn into bigger problems. 4. Loud, sudden household sounds you've stopped noticing. You've lived in your home long enough that certain sounds have become invisible to you. The blender, the vacuum, a door slamming in the wind, the washing machine buzzer, the dishwasher kicking into its next cycle. You don't flinch anymore because your brain has filed these under normal background noise. Your cat's hearing, remember, is dramatically more sensitive than yours, picking up frequencies and volume differences you can't even register, and their nervous system has not filed these sounds away the same way yours has. Every one of those sounds is a startle event, over and over, day after day, for a cat living in the same space. And unlike you, your cat can't reason their way out of the reaction. They don't get to think, oh, that's just the dishwasher, and move on instantly. Their body responds first, a spike in alertness, sometimes a full flight response, before any rational processing catches up. The cumulative effect of this matters more than any single loud noise. A cat who startles multiple times a day, every day, week after week, is living with a baseline stress load that most owners never account for, because from the human side of things, nothing seems wrong. The house sounds completely normal to you. It's only from your cat's perspective that it's a minefield of unpredictable, jarring noise. You don't need to redesign your home around this, but small changes help significantly. Running loud appliances when your cat is in a different part of the house, giving them a consistent, quiet retreat space, a room, a covered bed, somewhere elevated and enclosed, they can access any time they need to get away from the noise. And paying attention to which specific sounds seem to affect them most. Some cats are far more sensitive to certain frequencies than others, so their triggers may be more specific than you'd expect. 5. Loving them so much you never leave them alone. Here's the one that catches almost every well-meaning owner off guard, because it doesn't look like a mistake. It looks exactly like devotion. You work from home now, or you're just naturally affectionate, and your cat is almost always in the same room as you, gets talked to constantly, gets checked on, gets picked up for cuddles multiple times throughout the day. It feels like you're giving them everything a cat could want. But cats, even the most social, affectionate ones, are not built for constant, uninterrupted social contact the way some other pets are. In the wild, and even in feral colonies, cats spend significant portions of their day alone, resting, observing, decompressing from any social interaction that did happen. That downtime isn't a sign of disinterest or low affection. It's a biological necessity, a period where their nervous system actually gets to reset. An owner who is home all day, talking constantly, checking in constantly, initiating contact constantly, can inadvertently remove almost all of that recovery time from their cat's day. The cat never fully gets to disengage. Even positive attention, if it never stops, functions as a continuous low-grade demand on a nervous system that evolved to need real breaks from social input. Some cats respond by seeking out increasingly hard-to-reach hiding spots, not because they don't love their owner, but because it's become the only reliable way to get uninterrupted rest. This is genuinely difficult for a lot of owners to hear, because the instinct to give more attention feels like the opposite of a problem. But cats who have access to predictable, respected alone time, a cat tree, a quiet room, a high shelf that's understood as off-limits for interruption, consistently show lower baseline stress indicators than cats whose entire day is filled with well-intentioned, constant engagement. Loving your cat enough to let them opt out sometimes is, counterintuitively, one of the deepest things you can do for them. So look back at these 5. Bowl placement, unpredictable touch, litter box proximity, background noise, and constant togetherness. None of them look like mistakes from the outside. All 5 look, at a glance, like completely normal parts of an ordinary, caring household. That's exactly why they're so easy to miss, and exactly why fixing even one or two of them can genuinely change how safe and settled your cat feels in their own home every single day, without you ever having to do anything more dramatic than simply noticing what was already right in front of you.